lot of women are asking, where are all the good men? Where are all the good men? Well, you're not sitting there asking what you've done to destroy the good in them. That maybe you've destroyed everything good in them because you've decided to weaponize their vulnerabilities. And now they don't want to do that anymore. They only want to show their fake strengths, and if they even have them. And if not, like you see them as weak. It's really a shame.
Women are nowadays complaining so much that it's becoming hard to find good men. By good men, they mean men who will be their retirement plans after they are retired and turn into leftovers that no one wants. But it seems those men are nowhere to be found.
Here y'all are at 45, 50, talking about where the good men at. They were back then 20 years ago. You said he was lame. You said he was boring. You said that you were too lit to be settled down. You were going through your whole phase. Remember that? So yeah, a lot of y'all have already missed that boat, baby girls. Or should I say baby grandmas? Cause a lot of y'all are way too damn old to be in these type of situations. And then y'all are seeking this advice from women who are still in the streets, who still don't have nothing figured out but her damn self.
This will hurt them a lot, but it's true. These leftover women are too old to be competing with the younger ones. They also don't know where to look for us, and even if they do, their trauma, body count, and behavior would disqualify them immediately.
Most women that say they want a good man, if you bring her one right now, she probably gonna fuck it up. Them saying that they're single by choice is because they've been unsuccessful in finding one.
Now, there are two things that women are not capable of. One, taking accountability. Women, especially in the modern day, would rather die or go to prison instead of accepting they made terrible choices. 2. Responsibility. We cannot expect them to carry out their duties without supervision. They will always fail.
I know I make a lot of jokes about being single, but I just want everyone to know that I am single by choice. It's a decision. And it's because I choose to like men who don't like me back.
She is not single by choice. She thinks she is a 10, but she is a solid 5. Being single by choice is the line used by most of them when they realize they are truly leftover women and they can't find a man to save them. Some will have children with no fathers, others will have several abortions. The only thing they have in common is they all have been run through.
Women create single family households. There, I said it. Y'all do. Y'all make yourselves single moms and then y'all blame everybody else for it. Because at the end of the day, if it's your body, your choice, right? Most women don't believe in that concept unless it's a nigga she really ain't fucking with like that. Yeah, she'll get rid of the baby. You know, or if she really is fucking with the nigga real tough and she really believe by getting rid of the baby, you know, they might have a better chance of working out. She might do it. But 9 times out of 10, she looks at that baby as a form of setup. She getting welfare, she getting Section 8, she getting all this other stuff that she's gonna get from the benefits of the baby. And most of the time keeping a nigga around, which a lot of women don't want to admit they didn't want to keep that nigga around. Then all of a sudden you keep the baby, then all of a sudden he a bum ass nigga and he this and the fifth, but he wasn't that when you was keeping the baby after he asked you not to. So you are a single mom by choice. 9 times out of 9, 10 times out of 10, you are a single mom by choice. Because if you didn't like that nigga, if you really wasn't fucking with him, that baby gonna be up there with grandma, grandpa, Aunt Jackie, Uncle Becky, whoever else, St. Jude, Jesus, whoever else is there to greet that motherfucker at the end of that surgery. Because you ain't gonna keep no baby you don't want. That's the end of it.
If they are single by choice when they can't find the man they want, then we can certainly say that they are single mothers by choice, hoes by choice, rotten, broke, and foolish by choice. Their current situation, good or bad, is the result of consistently repeated actions.
Do you think most women actually like men?
No. I'm glad that you mentioned that in the book. Another ugly truth that guys need to get through their head. Most women don't like you guys. They just don't. A majority of women do not like a majority of men. However, a majority of men absolutely like a majority of women. And that creates obviously an imbalance. And I would argue that, back to our discussion earlier with feminism, since most women naturally already don't like most men, with technology, women entering the workforce, education, all this other stuff, them being able to provide for themselves essentially in a modernized society where they don't need men, it makes it even worse for men because now they really don't like you and they don't have to deal with you. It used to be a woman would deal with a guy because she wanted to get married, have kids, whatever, she needed him, so she would be willing to deal with a more average guy. Now they make their own money and everything else like that. Now they really don't need men. They never liked us that much anyway, right? And I want to be clear because some people might say, oh, Myron, what do you mean? I am being a bit hyperbolic, but what I'm saying is this. It's not that they necessarily hate you guys, but it's you guys are invisible to them.
This is the first reason why these women complain that dating is becoming harder. They spend all their life looking for a man who she thinks is right for her. That man might come along, but he turns her down immediately because she's fat or ugly or entitled. Since all the others are invisible, she will start crying on Instagram.
Why do you think dating is hard? because of social media. So social media got these chicks thinking that they got something they don't have. So they only fuck with niggas who got bread, and then turn around and be mad when them type of dudes who got a bunch of money want every bitch. These same bitches will turn around and pay Chris Brown $1,000 to take pictures with them. You feel me? See, they charge broke niggas to chill with them. But the more money you got, the less you got to spend. See, women only want to deal with dudes who don't have no opinion. That's why you see a lot of these bad chicks with these goofy ass, soft ass niggas who ain't gonna challenge them on nothing, who ain't gonna ask them no questions. Any man that got his own shit taken care of, don't need their money, don't need their pussy. They don't want to deal with a nigga like that. They want a nigga that they can talk to crazy and disrespect them because they don't want no structure. They scared of real men, you feel me? Because a real man ain't gonna let them talk crazy and do all that goofy dumb shit.
We also have standards. Even though they have tried so hard to shame them, we still largely treat them like they come. If she has been a hoe for 10 years, we will see her and treat her like one. Once you are something, it defines you. They want us not to judge them, but we all do, fortunately.
Why is dating so frustrating? Why? So talking to this guy on this dating app, right, for about 2 weeks, exchanged phone numbers, everything's good, asks me tonight, what are your plans this weekend? When I say, oh, my kids are actually with their dad this weekend. I work on Saturday, but just half the day. How about you? Oh, I have no plans. Then fucking nothing. Nothing after that. Not would you like to meet up? Do you want to make plans? No, nothing.
Have you noticed it's when these women grow old and their bodies give up that they start complaining that it's hard to date? You will rarely see them complain in their 20s. It will obviously be hard for you with 3 children and breasts that fell asleep during the pandemic. The only plans we have for such women is to ghost them and let them expire in peace.
Women are terrible people when they have the leverage. They are terrible fucking people. They treat you like shit. They emasculate you. They make you do things for sexual access. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't mean to put you on blast. But every single guy in here has probably been through this bullshit with a woman before where if she feels like she's better than you or she has more sexual market value than you do and she feels like she's doing you a favor, she's going to let you, number one, know that, and then she's going to make your life miserable. And then on the part 3 is going to be she's going to cheat on you and not feel bad about it because she's like, oh, I could do better. A lot of the guardrails that kept women away from doing stupid shit, they're gone. Shame, religion, the family, institution, patriarchy, all these things have been absolutely destroyed thanks to feminism, because in order for feminism to thrive, we must remove institutions that keep women in check. And since these institutions are basically gone, women feel like they can do anything, and they don't feel guilty about it because we have we have like music, we have a culture that tells women, know your worth, you do what you want. There's no such thing as, you know, we're gonna go against slut shaming, we're gonna have a slut walk. So know that all these things are out there against you, and if you don't increase your sexual market value, you're gonna pay the price for it. The reason why I know this shit is because I've been in your shoes. I've been played by girls. I've been shit on by girls. I've been denied. I've been rejected. Like this wisdom comes from a lot of fucking else.
Unfortunately, these women think they have it all when they make money. They tend to lose their minds because of a salary. Working women have ruined marriages, relationships, and pushed away good men, all because they think they are better than us for having a salary. It always comes back to bite them hard when they grow old and realize they messed up.
What I'm basically telling men to do is be extremely selective with women. And here's the thing, women are extremely selective with us. Women are pickier now than ever before. You know, but I find it interesting when I tell guys to practice the same thing, that comes with a problem. It kind of speaks to the point I've been making forever. Men can't have standards, but women can. Women can demand excellence, but men can't. You know, if a man criticizes a woman for not doing her part, he's a misogynist. If a woman criticizes a man for not doing his part, she knows her worth. There's a wild double standard that just isn't acceptable.
It should not come as a surprise that we men also have standards. These standards really hurt the old leftover women. Now that we have realized they are useless, we have tightened the grip on our standards. That's why most of them would rather rant on social media than be what we want. We can't buy old vehicles at the price of new ones.
Guys have legitimate complaints about women. Legitimate. They're tired of being used. They're tired of feeling like, oh, you know, the woman is always right. They never get an apology. They get treated with disrespect. They're tired of not being appreciated. They're tired of having you come and say you want all these things from them. But when they ask what you bring to the table or have the audacity to suggest that something they really value isn't on the table and that perhaps you yourself are not enough to be the table, then somehow you have an attitude problem about it, right? They're tired of all of those things and more.
The biggest reason why these leftover women are finding it hard is because they act emotionally. We act logically. We have decided to stop trying to date them and live in peace with that. The disconnect happens because they are trying to understand why from an emotional perspective. That is why they always give emotional responses when we ask the big question, what do we men get from a marriage?
Name one benefit that a man gets from marriage that he wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Just one.
Well, I think, as a woman, if you're
I'm asking you as a man, since you're, attacking men for being Peter Pan.
I think a lot of men who choose to get married are incentivized by the fact that they are able to claim that woman as theirs. And
But name one benefit that they would get in a marriage that they wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Well, I think even though it's not 100%, there's peace of mind that woman is going to be loyal to you.
The answer is there's none. You're dancing around it. There is none. So my thing is this. I think it's in a man's best interest to stay Peter Pan, as you would say. And I think women shame men because men gain their value in their 40s. Men understand the sexual marketplace better. They understand that women have no leverage in their 40s. And they date down and they get younger, more attractive girls. And that's the best way to go in today's day and age, where we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace where women could take everything they got, take their kids, etc. Why the hell would a guy want to commit to women nowadays when, honestly, we got wholeflation?
There's obviously more incentive for women to get married than men, obviously.
Way more.
But what I'm suggesting is there's also benefits to men getting married. And I think...
Name one.
I just told you. I think
that he wouldn't get outside of a regular relationship.
I just told you, the women, knowing that your woman is perhaps going to be more loyal to you when she's your wife versus your girlfriend.
She should be displaying that anyway.
Well, I think...
There is none, and she and all her leftover comrades know it, but they will never admit it. This is the reason they attack us so harshly when we start to understand these manipulative tactics and call them out. Even with feminism and government support, they are still suffering because they are basically stupid.
Feminism is a scam. Feminism is a scam. I do not want to be independent. I want to be so codependent. I need my husband. I want my husband. I want to follow his lead. That's how God created me. He created me in a way to follow. He created me as a helpmate. He created me as an opposite to Adam, right? If women could be a woman, if women acted like women instead of men, because they're acting like men, we'd have better men.
It's always when they grow old and useless that they learn. If women acted like women, we would have great wives and mothers. They only say feminism is a scam with their mouths, but in reality, they are products of feminism. They are lost and confused creatures.
That's why men are walking away from women. Not out of spite, not out of hatred, out of self-preservation. Because the state of modern women today means the juice is no longer worth the squeeze. Why? Because they compromise peace instead of multiplying it. They bring noise when a man wants calm. They bring conflict when a man wants clarity. And for men in their 30s and beyond, peace is the empire worth defending. Let's talk about the state of modern women. They've been shaped by culture, by social media, by a system that feeds them endless attention they were never supposed to have. And what does that attention create? Inflated egos, unrealistic expectations, endless insecurity. A woman today is flooded with more validation in a single day, than her grandmother got in an entire lifetime.
They will keep struggling and complaining. Dating will get harder for them, and they will keep buying antidepressants. They have nothing good or positive in their lives. They have dumped their trauma on us for so long. Now we know better, and that is why we are walking away. Their problems are as clear as daylight, and we will not take them back. That's where we will end it, gents. Leave comment below and share the video with a man. Remember to subscribe and activate the notifications bell to stay updated. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.